Good day and greetings from the Great White North. My name is Prickly Poo and welcome to day 207 of a year of change. Today we are going to sort of get back on track to where we need to be. Over the past week or so, I feel like I've been lax and just sort of gradually letting some old bad behaviors sort of slip back in. So I want to get back on track to where we should be. So I thought best place to do this is starting with, naturally, food. So, over the past couple of weeks, we've been generally on Wednesdays, we try to look at a different sort of snack or something that's going to be a little bit different. And we've just sort of, I felt like I've gotten away from a lot of stuff. So I wanted to come back to this. And I actually ended up coming back to revisit an old, not a friend, I was going to say an old friend, nemesis is probably a better word. If you remember way back on day 67, which I will tell you a math story in a second because of that, we tried the little snap pea crispy pedo things, which at the time I thought were just like baked peas, actual peas that had been seasoned and baked and put into a bag and shipped off from wherever. And it wasn't. It was just basically Cheetos that were made with peas instead of corn. So it still had all the same, grease and salt and calories and fat and all the other bad stuff, which made me endlessly angry. And I still get angry about every time I see a bag of those. It's just because there's such promise in it. But I figure that it's probably a good place to revisit because the other day when I was in the grocery store, I saw these. And this is what I actually thought that the little crisps were going to be. This is a sugar snap pea. And this is the type of pea that they use to make those. And I figure it's probably a good place to start where I'm trying to sort of get back to where we should be. I don't know if you've sort of fallen off the wagon the same way that I did, but this is a good place to start is to revisit, and show this is what we should have been looking at. Not the stupid little crispy things, because those were stupid. Anyway, this is a snap pea. Basically, it's the same thing as a snow pea. If you've ever had Chinese food, then you know. It's those little flat peas that you can get. Snow peas, these are just sort of a variant of that, except that they've actually had the peas mature. So, a lot of peas, the main reason why you don't get like the regular garden peas that you get, green peas in a bag, the main reason why they don't sell them in the pod is because this is a nice little science thing, which I forgot my math story already. All right, we'll get back to that. The fibers in a pea pod generally just kind of go every which way. So they aren't really edible. Like you can chew them, but they're just really fibrous and tough, and you can still digest them and everything. It just sort of cleans you out that way. But the fibers in these pods, the fibers, the little fibers in these pods actually all go in one direction. So they're fans. So when you can actually eat the entire thing. Just drooled on myself. Sexy times. So unlike other peas, you can actually eat the whole thing. But, which we will do. We'll show that in a second. But the main thing that you want to do when you're I'll actually show you the inside. Usually what you want to do is sort of snap the tip off, and this little fibrous thing that comes off, it just sort of runs along the spine. You can tear that off if you want. You can eat it. It's fine. You're not gonna sit there chewing for half an hour anyway. So, but then inside you have regular peas. And these are pretty much just the same as regular snow peas. They just don't go, they go everywhere. They just are more mature than the smaller snow peas. That's all. But there's the inside of it. And they're fairly crispy. Boop. You can just tear them off and eat the whole thing. You can actually eat the peas as well. Sorry, I'm going to chew in front of you now. But there we go. The peas themselves, you can eat everything. You just eat the whole thing. You can sort of, again, peel this thing off if you want to get rid of it. The math thing, which I keep forgetting. When I was trying to figure this out, it was on day 67 that we did this for the snap pea crisp things, and I was in my head. I'm trying to figure it out, and I said, good enough. So it's 240 days ago. I know. Hold on. So I'm trying to figure out the math in my head going, how does that even out? Because it's Wednesday to Wednesday. It should be a multiple of 7. And I just couldn't figure it out. And it took me about 5, Not quite 10 minutes, but probably 5 minutes at least before I went, oh, it's 140 days ago. Because I'm stupid. But, other than that, anyway. When it comes to stuff like this, the main reason why I sort of wanted to bring these up is that, in general, they are very sweet. Not as sweet as the dates that we tried at the very, very beginning, or an apple or something like that. But they're surprisingly sweet for a vegetable. If you've ever had just the the inside, the core of a carrot, not just the regular carrot part, but just the inside, it's sort of like that kind of a sweetness. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, when you slice a carrot, you have just the main carrot part and then the inner ring. That inner ring is usually filled with sugar. So just try that by itself at some point. You'll be surprised how sweet it is. These are a lot like that. So it's not exactly the same as saying, well, I have a sweet tooth. I'm craving something sugary. It's not going to really curb that all that much, but it is a much better alternative than what we have been, or what I have been doing, I should say. So if we're going to compare nutrition, actually, you know what? Let's compare the bad stuff first. The amount of calories that are in these, if you were to take a cup of these, they have about as many calories as 2 jujubes, or 2 gummy bears, whatever you want to use. That's still chewy, gooey, gummy stuff. So that's going to give you a rough idea to the amount of calories that are in there. If you're going to compare these, probably the easiest thing to compare it to is an apple. If I was to say, compare it to a pomegranate, you're not going to know. You have no frame of reference for that. But if you compare these to an apple, calorie-wise, a little bit less, cup for cup. You're looking at probably 60 calories for the apple, 40, 45 calories for these. So, a negligible difference. Not much in the way of that. The main thing with these is there is less sugar in it than an apple, obviously, because it's a vegetable. But that's not really our main focus. If you're trying to, if you have a really strong craving for something sweet, even apples aren't going to really do it for you. But the benefit you're getting from the apple, if this is one of those things that you're like, not for me, the benefit that you're going to get from the apple outweighs the sugar, so go to it. But the main thing with this, they have about the same amount of fiber in them. These have a little bit more. But the main thing with this is vitamin C. Vitamin C in a cup of these, you're probably done for the day, which is really surprising because you generally associate vitamin C with like citrus fruits and stuff like that. But with these, you're up to 98% of your vitamin C just in a cup of these. Same thing with vitamin A. That's really, really high up there. I can't remember the exact number for the time being. And iron as well. You get about 10 or 11% of the iron that you need from a cup of these. So, and the good thing is because they have some fiber in them, they do fill you up. But, a cup isn't all that much, but you can pretty much eat your fill of these, and they aren't going to harm you. Now, it is going to be tempting, actually, when you do this, too, because sometimes when you're looking at something like this, especially, you're going, it's a little plain. It is going to be tempting to sort of supplement it with a dip or a sauce or something like that. If you're going to go with, like, mustard or Frank's or something like that, one of the 0-calorie ones, then you're probably good. But generally with stuff like this, you're looking at something that you're a little more creamy. But in the long run, again, the amount of stuff that you're going to be getting out of it, as long as you're not drowning it in them, or them in it, either way, then the benefit, if you look at it practically and go, okay, are the benefits going to be outweighing the damage I'm going to be doing with like ranch dressing or something? If you like hummus, these actually would go well with that. I'm starting to sound like a hippie when I say that. Like, oh, it goes well with hummus. It does, actually. Trust me. But, something in my eye. In general, I just eat them raw. You can cook them along with, regular peas and stuff like that. But generally speaking, the best way is really raw. They taste much, much better. Actually, you know what? I can't say that because I've only ever had cooked snow peas. I've never actually cooked these. I've never eaten these when they weren't raw. I'm going to say unraw, cooked. But if you snap the tip off again, this comes off fairly easily. So as I say, you can eat that. But generally speaking, it's just the entire thing. And I'm going to be rude for a second. Yeah. There you go. You can eat the entire thing all at once. And don't look at that. You didn't see that. It's okay. I just, almost drooled on myself. It's okay. Anyway, I'll put that there. Oh. Yeah. There we go. So I just thought that this was a good place to start, where over the past week or so, I've sort of really been lax in what I've been doing. And sneaking in... I'm sorry. I'm hoping you didn't see that. I said pee on my face. Or not pee on my face. No, a pee in my teeth came flying out. Not pee on my face. Sorry, that's... yeah, enjoy that visual. Sorry, anyway. We're going to skip ahead because we won't dwell on that because that's disgusting. Over the past week or so, it's just been, not even just the past week, just lately, I'll say, just to keep it nice and vague. Those bad behaviors have sort of been slipping back in. And I don't know if it's an overconfidence thing where you think, well, I'm okay, I've lost some weight, I can start having little snacks here and there. And unfortunately at this stage, we simply can't. I can't anyway. Because it's just going to lead right into, okay, well, good enough. I can have jujubes, and then I can have pizza, obviously. Well, pizza wasn't that bad. It was only the one time in a couple of months. But it's just going to sort of start snowballing into that. And then getting away from eating healthy like we have been, not eating the unprocessed whole foods that we've been buying, things like that. Just having those little things sneak back in. It doesn't take much to sort of halt your progress. And I have noticed that, obviously, even this week, that, it's when you're looking over long term and you think, okay, I'm still making progress. And then you take a look at the past month and you're just sort of hovering. Yeah, you're still making progress, but in general, it could be doing so much better. So this is a good place to start, I think. It's, as I say, it's not going to be enough to curb like a really strong cookie craving or something like that. But for those of you that are more of a savory, salty, sour kind of person, when you do get that little bit, you're going, I kind of want something sweet. Believe it or not, these are sweet enough that they are going to help. And depending on when you get them, these ones, as you can see, are kind of, yeah. I mean, they're still crunchy. See? So they're still good that way, but they're just sort of at the end of their season where I am right now. Generally, they go, I think, from midsummer to mid-August, or midsummer to mid-autumn. And I think that's why these are just sort of not exactly as crispy as they could be. They still are really crunchy and everything. But there's a little bit of a difference. But it's a fairly new strain, too. This, as I say, they're pretty much just snow peas, where the peas have been allowed to mature. But this particular variety, or strain, whatever you want to call it, strain sounds like a virus. This particular variety, I think, was in the late 70s. When they actually developed it. So, yeah. Comparatively, anyway, it's a very, compared to the fact that peas have been around for thousands of years, it's fairly young. So, anyway, this is one of those things that you can pretty much eat your fill as well. There's enough fiber in there that it's going to fill you up and going to keep you full for quite a bit. Just worried I'm going to drool. I've already drooled and spit on myself today. It's been a good day so far. Good start. So it'll keep you full for quite a while, and much, much better than going after loud truck. Much, much better than going after sort of the candies and things like that. And I've tried to lean more towards healthier snacks now in the past week or so. I bought sunflower seeds. We could do those, but you know what sunflower seeds are. You can go buy some. Much better. I mean, they're high in calorie count, or content, but it's still much, much better than, just the garbage candy that I've been buying. Not to say that the candy is bad. It's just, for me, right now, not at that stage where I can safely buy it and go, oh, it should be fine. I mean, last week, I know I only had 20 in the run of a day, but that is the equivalent of 10 cups of these. If I ate 10 cups, I would get all the iron I needed for the day as well. So it's not just empty calories. You're getting so much more out of it. And as I say, if you are going to go with some sort of a dip, just try to make the best decision that you can. Try to keep the calorie count low, the fat content low. There's sort of a trade-off with the sugar and the sodium. I understand that. Keep things practical, but just don't say, "Well, I'm eating healthy now," and then you're downing half a cup of ranch dressing. But as I say, these do go really well with hummus. I know that sounds like a douchey hippie thing to say, but if you get the right hummus, it's really, really good. Which we haven't done that either. Probably could do that. It's just chickpeas, ground up and seasoned and everything else. High in calories, but still better for us than a lot of other stuff that's out there. Anyway, those are snap peas. And, you can usually find them. They're either going to be under snap peas or sugar snap peas or something like that. But there's the pea from inside of it. Itty bitty pea. Hop. And, oops, there we go. And you'll be surprised how how sweet they are comparatively to a vegetable. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be the same as a jujube. You're going, oh, it's so sweet. No, but for a vegetable, it's incredibly sweet. And I'm just going to try to... There we go. I have a handful of peas now. So, I can't remember what we did this with. What was it that we... Anyway, whatever it was. Bink. There we go. Yay! Why bring precedence? Now I have to pick that up. Thanks. Making a mess of my house. Anyway. Yeah. I don't know if I have any more information to give you. I think that's pretty much it. It's good to sort of get back on track to where we need to be. Well, for me, anyway, getting back to where I need to be. Because I do enjoy this stuff. This isn't a matter of going, oh, well, we're going to have whole, organic, gluten-free gluten. It's stuff that, because there has to be that practical aspect of it. And if it's something that you're not going to enjoy, you're not going to eat it. But for a lot of you out there, I suspect anyway, that if you do go after something like this, you are going to enjoy it. Because it's surprisingly good. For those of you that absolutely hate vegetables, even for some of you that hate vegetables, sorry, give these a try because they're really sweet. They're, well, I would say they're on the cusp of being as sweet as fruit for a lot of the stuff. I have a pea stuck in my throat. So give it a try anyway. At the very least, try it once, try it twice. If you don't like them, then you don't have to eat them. But, eventually we will hit on something that you do like. They aren't going to be as sweet as the dates that we did way, way at the very beginning. Not by a long shot. But when you sort of compare things like the grapes, yeah, you could, if you took away the sour part of it, they're probably about as sweet as grapes. Anyway, I still have a pea stuck in my face. Yay. Oh, I completely missed. Oh well, I'm done for today. That's it. Nope. I'm sorry for the noise. Anyway, I'm going to leave this video here before you just start rambling on and start throwing peas everywhere. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please poke the like button for me. And in the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.